YouTube, what is going on, Lakers family? And welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about three centers that I think the Lakers should go ahead and look at and bring in this offseason to improve their front court. And the first player that I do want to talk about is big man Mason Plumlee. He's a backup big for the Los Angeles Clippers. He's 34 years of age, so he's a little bit on the older side of things. I'll say that. His height is 6'10". He weighs about 254 pounds, so he's a veteran. He's been in the league since 2013, 2014 NBA season, so in total it's like 10 or 11 years. And the 2023-24 NBA season that just ended, he was on the Clippers playing a backup role to Daniel Tice in the second unit, and the starting big man was Afita Zubac. Now, for Mason Plumlee, on the Clippers, he did average around 5.3 points per game, shooting 56.9% from the field, which is very solid, right? But it did decrease from, last season, 2022-23 NBA season on the Clippers, where he shot a career high from the field at 72.7% from the field. So that is still very efficient, but it's a major drop-off from, last season. He is averaging this year 5.1 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 0.4 blocks, 0.3 steals, and he doesn't take no threes, which is a concern. But in my personal opinion, I'll be looking at a floor spacing big. But that's just an icing on the cake. That's just an option. Not really my top priority. I'm looking for a bruising big, someone that can big down low, just play their role, be a lob threat, protect the paint, which he isn't the greatest rim protector, but he can definitely set screens for his teammates, be a lob threat, and just play make as a big. And he started 11 games for the Clippers, 46 games played in the regular season, and playing close to 14.7 minutes a night. So he is solid. When you look at his contract, he'll become unrestricted free agent this summer. He is making around $5 million, so that is pretty reasonable, pretty cheap. And the Lakers can definitely give him the taxpayer mid-level exception, which is around $5 million. Next player that I do want to talk about is Richaun Holmes. He was on the Sacramento Kings, but they traded him in draft night in the 2023 NBA offseason to the Dallas Mavericks. I believe it was like draft consideration, draft rights, but he didn't really get too much of an opportunity. And then this past trade deadline that just ended on February 8th, he did get traded to, the Washington Wizards. So he is solid. He's a lob threat. He can set screens. He can protect the rim, which could be huge for the Los Angeles Lakers. Great rebounder, right? But he is still young. His height is 6'9". He is undersized. He weighs about 235 pounds. Now, when you look at his contract, he does have a $12.8 million player option for the 2024-25 NBA season. My apology. And in 2025, he'll become unrestricted free agent. So the Lakers, they really can't afford him unless D'Angelo Russell walks. And if he does, then good. The Lakers can give him the non-taxpayer mid-level exception, which is around $12.4 million. But if he does a walk and he comes back, then you could just forget about, Richaun Holmes, because the Lakers won't be able to afford him. And in Washington, he did average around 7.1 points per game, shooting 55.7% from the field, 6.1 rebounds, 0.6 assists, 0.6 blocks, 0.5 steals, and shooting close to, 33.3% from three on 0.2 attempts per game. So he's not the greatest, three-point shooter, but he did shoot around 84.6% from the free throw line, 17 games, 18 starts for the Wizards, 18.7 minutes a night. Now in Dallas, he did play around like 23, 24 games, but he did play more games, and the reason why is because he got traded second half of the season, in the trade deadline. So that's the reason why. Now, the last player I wanted to save the best for the video is, Mo Wagner. He's a former Laker. He was drafted in 2018 the first round, 25th overall pick. And to be honest, guys, he didn't really stand out, but the Lakers really suck at developing, young talent, especially in my lifetime. That's just my personal opinion if you guys disagree. But those are just my thoughts. And he got traded the following season, especially when LeBron James came in 2018, 2019. But he got traded to the Washington Wizards. And I will say, when you look at his contract, he's making around $8 million per year. So that is pretty cheap. That is pretty reasonable. The Lakers, they could definitely afford him. Not sure if the Orlando Magic are definitely looking to bring him back, but we'll see. And he has a club option, which it does say on the contract for the 2024-25 NBA season. So he's still young. He's 6'11". He weighs about 245 pounds, so he has some height. And he's big, right? He's 27. He's still young. He's not older, and he's still in his prime, right? But he did average around 10.9 points per game for the Orlando Magic, shooting 60.1% from the field. So that is actually incredible. 4.3 rebounds, which he's not their greatest rebounder, but he did average around 1.2 assists, 0.3 blocks, 0.5 steals, and shooting near 33.3% from the free throw line, and shot around 81.4% from the free throw line, 80 games played. So that is something that stands out because the Lakers have been injured a lot of times this season. Bad luck, which has been super unfortunate. So I'm looking at players that are just going to be available, and availability is the best to, be there for your team. I forget how they say it, but I think he's solid. And he was on the Orlando Magic, which they made the playoffs. You got Jamal Mosley, which he's a solid head coach, so he improved. And surprisingly, they made it to the playoffs, but they did get eliminated in the first round to the Cavs in 7 games, which they should have won that game, but they sold, which comes with it because they're not experienced, so they're young, and they have to continue to improve. You got your brother in Franz Wagner, which I think he's better than him. And you also got your player in Paulo Banchero, which he improved, and he was an all-star in his second year. So that is actually incredible. Now, I will say Mo Wagner, he doesn't really protect the rim. He's not the greatest at that. He's not the greatest rebounder. He doesn't have foot speed. So he's slow. He has no agility, but he could definitely space out the floor, just use his size. And this dude is just going to give you the energy. And I love guys that are going to bring the energy, the toughness every single night. So the Lakers, they definitely need to look at those type of players. You guys let me know in the comment section how do you guys feel about these 3 players that I talked about in my video. And I want to say sorry that I had to re-upload the video because I didn't really like the way it performed in my last video. But I'm going to wrap up today's video. Before I end this video off, make sure you guys like the video so YouTube can push it to a bigger audience. I'd really appreciate that a lot. Also subscribe. Really trying to reach my next goal at 3K subs. The only way I can do that is if you guys support this channel. We're not that far away. And also turn on notification bell so you guys get notified for future Lakers content. And lastly, let me know in the comment section what topic do you guys want to see me talk about in my next video, whether if it's draft, prospects, centers, every position, all that good stuff. And I'm out of here. Peace.